Pan's Labyrinth is an excellent film directed by Mexican filmmaker Guillermo del Toro. Del Toro had won 2 Academy Awards, 3 BAFTA Awards, and an Emmy. His work has been characterized with fairy tales and horror. Especially in Pan's Labyrinth, the themes he uses are so interesting. The colors are incredible, and the characters are well thought out and intriguing. Pan's Labyrinth is likely the first film where I was genuinely attached to the characters. Ophelia, a young girl, believes in fairies and fauns. She is told by a faun, who I believe is Pan from Greek mythology, that Ophelia is a lost daughter of an elven king and that she needs to return to the fantasy realm before the next full moon, or else she will never be allowed to return. She then does 3 tasks to allow herself access to the fantasy realm. Contrarily, Mercedes, a rebellious housewife, fights for her life to protect her brother and other people that are resisting a fascist government. The film follows the 2 parallel quests of these protagonists, changing from one to the other every now and again. Pan's Labyrinth covers several themes depending on the character arc. Ophelia's plot arc is likely about understanding destiny and sacrificing oneself for what is right, and Mercedes is about fighting for what is right or resisting higher power. The two deserve analyses of their own, but I want to look at a different character. In my opinion, the most intriguing character is Captain Vidal, a fascist commander in the Spanish Civil War, and it is clear that he is the main antagonist in this film. He is important to Mercedes' character arc, however, he has some role in Ophelia's. He is a massive and loves to control people. However, Captain Vidal's story arc raises some questions. He clearly cares about legacy, his or his father's, as he keeps a broken pocket watch from his father that shows exactly when he had died. For context, in Spain at around 1939, there were fascists and communists at war, and the fascists were winning. Vidal is a fascist and doesn't care about equality and fairness, which are major aspects of communism. He thinks that people of higher power deserve more than less powerful people. In the film, some soldiers bug Captain Vidal about a farmer and his son who are hunting rabbits. The soldiers assume the 2 were rebels and asks Vidal to deal with them. After a moment of rifling through their belongings, Vidal then... Yeah. Do you see what I mean about Vidal being the antagonist? He then pulls out a rabbit from one of their coats, proving that they were indeed telling the truth, and that the soldiers wasted his time. The film is grotesque, horrifying, and so incredibly beautiful. Del Toro uses blues and grays and dark greens and yellows so effectively. Loves to mix horror and fantasy, which is highlighted for the faun, Pan, and the infamous Pale Man, who are both played by American actor Doug Jones. The Pale Man and Vidal are likely parallels of each other, meaning that they share similar artistic characteristics, but that is an analysis for another day. Vidal's outlook on life is sinister and outright terrifying, believing that everyone's purpose in life is to sacrifice themselves to a cause. This is shown in this scene, where a fallen soldier puts his hand on a gun in which Vidal is pointing. After swatting the hand away and pointing at the guy again, the soldier then resists and returns the hands to the barrel. Confused, Vidal pauses, wondering why the soldier had resisted, as it is against his own morals. Eventually, he shoots the guy and moves on. There is only one survivor, and he plans to interrogate and or torture them. However, he soon realizes that the guy he found wasn't very helpful, as he has a very bad stutter. I'll let you watch how he interrogates the guy. Remember this scene for later. The scene where Vital's character goes through the most trauma is when he captures Mercedes. Here, her rebellious nature truly shines, foreshadowed twice before here and here. She reveals her knife or dagger or whatever you want to call it. When watching the film for the first time, I knew it was important to her story arc immediately. However, in this particular scene, it starts slow as Vital monologues. As he takes a step closer to Mercedes, it transforms from a medium two-shot to a shoulder-level two-shot. Vital is looking down on Mercedes, clearly in power, and Mercedes is looking away, either cowering or ignoring him. Vital, Vital grabs Mercedes' face and walks to the right, the pole dividing the two of them, which makes two frames within frames. One with Vital and one with Mercedes. Here he brandishes a mallet-looking thing and threatens to hurt her if she doesn't start talking. This is an exact parallel from when he interrogated the stuttering guy. Tension builds as Vital's back is turned, and Mercedes pulls out her dagger to cut herself out of the ropes. This tension is shown through several quick cuts, including two back-to-back dagger insert shots, one from Mercedes and the next from Vital. Suddenly, Vital shrieks in pain as Mercedes literally backstabs him, pulls the dagger down, tearing at his skin. Mercedes is in shallow focus until Vital turns around and the camera focuses on Mercedes. She stabs him in the heart and he collapses to the ground. The camera tilts down to Vital and up to Mercedes, which makes the new shot-reverse shot perspectives. Then she shoves the dagger into Vital's mouth. She has pinned him, and the fast-paced cuts have slowed down. The audience has time to listen to their heart beating. Then she cuts his cheek off. I am so proud of her. Vital. Yeah! Putting the dagger in each of these spots is significant, and each have a different meaning that Del Toro is trying to convey. When Mercedes puts the dagger in his back, it is literally backstabbing. It's so sudden and out of the blue. We can see Vital's shock in his face. He holds the wound as he turns, and Mercedes stabs his heart, telling him that he hurt her and that she is hurting him. It's a symbol of power. But when she puts the dagger in his mouth, she is completely in control, and she is telling him that he is all talk and no play. This skewed version of the over-the-shoulder shot is really interesting, because instead of two equals, the audience sees two perspectives where one person is in power and the other is smaller and weaker. I believe that Vital's character is a direct allusion to Frankenstein's monster, and there are many ways I can prove this. He stitches himself together soon after Mercedes stabs him. He is constantly winding his pocket watch, and his office space is filled wall to wall with gears. And when people do things that confuse him, he kind of short circuits and malfunctions. Once with the guy on the ground, and another when Mercedes stabs him in the heart. He is very lawful, which I love to argue is the most interesting alignment. Although he survives Mercedes' attack, his story comes to an end when Mercedes kills him outside of the maze. He tells them to let his son know when he died, but Mercedes, in power, says that his son won't even know that Vital had existed. At that point, Vital realizes that he was never liked, and his legacy is in shambles. He was never the hero he aspired to be. He realizes that in order to be considered a hero, he needed to help and not hurt, to have empathy, which is against his code. But he realizes this too late as Mercedes shoots him in the cheek, blood oozing into his eye. Here's another instance of Vital short-circuiting. I believe that the blood reaching his eye is a symbol of his tainted view of the world and himself. He is obsessed with his appearance and is rather narcissistic. He sees himself as the masculine image of Spain, and with a new realization, his blood is what destroys his ideals. The irony is that his name, Vital, refers to a masculine title from the Latin surname Vitalis, meaning life or vitality, which is funny because he dies and kills a lot of people. In my opinion, this is definitely a top-tier film, if not the highest. The level of thought and care in the film is really intriguing and motivating, and it allows the audience to not only enjoy a fun fantasy/horror film, but also one with incredible in three-dimensional characters and story arcs. Pan's Labyrinth definitely deserves a spot on the New Horizons Golden Disc thing.